We understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. 1221 N Street, Lincoln.
This holiday season, bring home a tradition that tastes like celebration. Beatrice Bakery's world-famous fruitcake, baked in the heart of Nebraska with rich, golden batter, real cherries, pineapple, crunchy nuts, and a splash of old-fashioned goodness. It's moist, flavorful, and crafted the same way for generations. It's the fruitcake that turns skeptics into believers. Find Beatrice Bakery fruitcake online at grandmasbakeshop.com or at your favorite retailer, and make your holidays deliciously unforgettable with the help of Beatrice Bakery's world-famous fruitcake. Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see mainly cloudy skies with a light breeze and an afternoon high of just 34. Tonight, mainly cloudy skies remain with light winds, low around 16. And tomorrow, a chance of snow in the morning. Otherwise, mainly cloudy skies be breezy and cold with the high of just 17. I'm meteorologist Kyle Fletcher from 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Comfort food, but make it vegan. At Rutabagas, they're serving all your crave-worthy classics. Mac and cheese, loaded nachos, Philly cheesesteaks, all 100% plant-powered and 100% delicious. Catch them at their cozy spot at 70th and Vine, or find their food truck rolling through the streets of Lincoln. So whether you're vegan, veg curious, or just hungry for comfort food with a twist, Rutabagas has a plate waiting for you. Find them on Instagram for their food truck location and specials. Rutabagas, where comfort meets compassion. For remote starters, audio upgrades, and more, there's only one place to go. Auto Sounds of Lincoln at 48th and O.
It's time to go one-on-one with DP. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, Derek Pearson, brought to you by Canopy Street Market.
Boom, and welcome to One-on-One here on 93.7 The Ticket. DP once again out today, but Austin Orman jumping in studio with me for the hour, as we've got plenty to talk about. I was just kind of talking off air with Austin that, he's been gone for a while, so I'm interested in his thoughts on just about 1,000 things, because the last couple weeks, there's been so much different going on here. Today, by the way, Nebraska did make their new hires official. Rob Orich and Jeep Wade are on staff, as had been reported. Of course, still kind of going through that phase now with Roy Manning. If you missed it the other day, Roy Manning will be hired in some capacity at Nebraska on the defensive side of the ball. Helped Rob Orich over there with the San Diego State defense. So a lot to kind of break down there. We know Nebraska's bowl destination, of course, so I want to do a little Las Vegas Bowl trivia with you here in a little bit. But the bowl games start tomorrow. How pumped, how fired up are you, Austin, for bowl games now? Of course, that being a big controversy since I last talked to you on air, and that Notre Dame, Iowa State, Kansas State, all these teams just declining bowl games as a whole.
You know, I still do find the joy and the magic in bowl season. I do. And maybe it's because Nebraska hasn't been to the college football playoff that we've been forced to care about bowls and not been in the championship or bust or playoff or bust mindset of some other places. But I still think there's beauty and joy in it, right? Maybe I've been college basketball pilled a little bit, but what college basketball has done to start this year has been giving us some just incredible neutral site matchups, even some home and homes here and there. But I think home and homes are just beyond the pale gone for a while in college football, which is a bummer. And so if that's not going to happen, the best we can do is postseason neutral site games. I mean, think about it, Bach. When Nebraska was going to your Capital One Bowls and your Gator Bowls and your Holiday Bowls and what have you, you never got the chance to see Nebraska, Arizona. You never got to see, Nebraska, Washington get renewed. You didn't get to see Nebraska, Clemson, Nebraska, Georgia, Nebraska, South Carolina. These were marquee top 25 or borderline top 25 games that were fun. To see someone else, to get one last chance to see your team play, to build your day around football one last time, except you can also have games on in the background before then. Bowls are still fun. I'm worried that we've lost the plot too much, which is too bad. I understand why it's happened. It doesn't mean I have to like it.
Yeah, it is. In holiday, it kind of reminds me of the holiday season. Obviously, it's just all kind of part of it. So it's the tradition of college football, which again has been mangled and beaten up and bruised through this kind of new era of college football, and all these conference realignment, no longer geography mattering so much. The traditional rivalries, Nebraska fans obviously feeling that as much as anybody that's moved from conference to conference. But yeah, so throughout all that, it is nice to still kind of have those traditions and to go back on those. And it is, I mean, it's different when you bring up those games. I do think about everybody that's playing. I mean, you think about that South Carolina game, Alshon Jeffrey against an Alfonso Dinner going into that game, and so there were big matchups and excitement. And now it is admittedly different. You might not have the best players playing in the game. You certainly don't have the full staff of your team. There's and so it's a little bit, again, it's different. I don't think we'll ever have quite. I like how you kind of put it, the magic of it. I think the magic of it has died down to a degree just because of the surrounding circumstances, but it's still there. There is still some magic there.
Oh, there absolutely is. And I think the biggest reason that we've lost some of that sense of the magic is because we always have to qualify it. Yeah, that's fun, but you won this bowl game, but it wasn't this. We know. You don't have to say the second part. Like, we know the Gator Bowl isn't the college football playoff. We know the Las Vegas Bowl isn't, the Cotton Bowl or whatever. Like, we get it. At some point, just be grateful that you get another chance to watch your team. Be grateful that, hey, here's 15 more practices to develop for next year, right? And you just don't have to qualify it. Yeah. We get it. Just enjoy the game for what it is. It's not that hard to do.
Now it is. What I will say, it is a little bit hard as far as the context. Will you walk away from this team and say that they're 7-5, or will you walk away with this team and say they're 7-6 or 8-5, depending on the bowl game? And I think part of it depends on the outcome of the bowl game to a degree, doesn't it?
It does. But my impression of this year's Nebraska team is already solidified, right? This somewhat reflects on them, but that's kind of the lens that at least I watch like this bowl game through for Nebraska. Is on the one hand, yes, it's a testament to the hard work of the players that will get to play. They get one last opportunity with this group to lace them up, but I'm not really watching for this year. This year won't color my impression of Nebraska. If let's say Nebraska holds Utah to 20 rushing yards in this game, right? They go full Georgia, Alabama in the SEC championship. Utah can't run to save its life. Sure, maybe there's a twinge of, well, where the heck was this all year? But it wasn't there. Yeah. You had a month to game plan for this game. You knew it was coming. Congratulations. You played out of your mind for a game. It can happen to anyone. If they lose and get blown out, well, okay, it's bowl season. Utah just ran for 350 yards on 17 carries. Good for them. So be it. But hey, did you see that Donovan Jones is looking the part? Did you see, hey, maybe they are playing some 4 down and you can see some steps in the right direction? Or hey, TJ Lateef made it back against a team that has some athletes on it and look the part. Look at these young receivers flashing that are going to play a role next year. Yeah, you'd rather win it than lose it, but that's really not the lens that I'm watching this game through. And very little can be done to change my opinion on what's already happened. The bowl game's not the crowning achievement, or not the one card that's going to pull apart everything and make the whole tower fall.
Yeah, and I think that's appropriate. You just have to change how you view the game, right? It doesn't. Yeah. It might, and that's what's kind of been frustrating to me. A traditional Husker fan, college football fan, is that I always included those games. Of course you would, because back in the day, there wasn't much of a reason not to. And then about 10 years ago, a few guys started opting out, and you're kind of like, oh, okay. Mm-hmm. And and I had a co-host that started already to not count those games. It would drive me crazy in the offseason. You just count the 12 games of the regular season. But now you're almost there. You have to be. I mean, no Emmett Johnson, the coaching staff reshuffled, all that sort of stuff. But to your point, you just have to view it through a different lens, and it can be unique in that way, right? I mean, it's better than a spring game. It's probably better than a Houston Christian game, even though we're going to count the Houston Christian game in our assessment, right? So, it's somewhere stuck in between crowning one season and moving into the next. But I love it. If you told me you could do that in February or March, I'd sign up for it automatically and be super enthused for it.
And that's where I brought this up with Jay. I'd love your take on it too. The game itself, Nebraska against Utah, I think it would be a much different vibe around here for the next 19 days if Nebraska was in Utah's shoes. Your only losses are to the teams that were ahead of you in your conference. You had an outside shot at making your conference title game. It just didn't break your way, but you still won double-digit games. Nebraska did win one more game than last year. Nebraska can still end up with the exact same record as last year. They're in a bowl again. They have a chance to lace it up, and that's all fine and well. But I can understand maybe some big picture frustration from Husker fans because they might have wanted to be Utah. This team clearly proved that it wasn't at that level. It had 12 opportunities to do it, and it wasn't. So maybe whoever was out ahead of their skis predicting Nebraska to be a college football playoff team. Credit Utah. They lived up to more of their preseason hype. They made a little bit more of a climb, and good to them for that. But if this was a 10-2 Nebraska team going into this bowl game here, Bach, there would, I think, be more pressure on them to win it, to say, okay, you're in a bowl that you're disappointed to be in. Let's still prove that we're the better team in this one, to go out and get a win. Maybe it's because Nebraska's 7-5 and backed their way into this bowl. I'm like, whatever happens, happens. I'm not going to add it to the ledger of the team because, sure, bowl games can be more about the motivation, who's available, who's not available. We'll see what complement of players Utah has, but I don't know if it'd be a better or worse feeling for Nebraska to be 10-2 in a disappointing bowl or be 7-5 with a shot to take down a really solid program.
Yeah, it is interesting to view that. I hadn't thought of that because I do think Utah probably will view this as part of their season. I mean, if they go 11-2, they're not going to say, well, yeah, 10-2, but that extra game against Nebraska wasn't fully, whatever, in their lens. Yeah, this is the bowl game. And so that's what's so interesting about it, is every team can kind of view it differently, and it can change based on the day. 4 days ago, 3 days ago, Michigan was probably viewing that Texas bowl game a little bit differently than they are as far as the importance of what's going on there now. So it's just fascinating. Now, as we kind of continue the conversation with it, of course, it is Las Vegas, New Year's Eve. Last year, Yankee Stadium, New York. So kind of unique opportunities for Husker fans. All that being said, would you rather be playing in Detroit against an opponent that you might have more of a chance? Because I think, and I'm not trying to downplay Nebraska. Obviously, the matchup with Utah is specifically difficult because of their rushing. But this is a team knocking on the door of the playoffs. This is a team right outside of the playoffs. And I feel, and I hate to say it, but this year's bowl lineup just doesn't have a whole lot of oomph. Some of it would be a little bit. If Notre Dame would have accepted the Pop-Tarts Bowl against BYU, yeah, I'm jazzed up for that. But I feel like Nebraska kind of took a spot against a team that would be one of those interesting bowl games if you had matched them up with an 18th, 20th ranked team or something like that. Instead, you get a kind of a limping into the game 7-5 Nebraska.
Which is all due to the fact that the Pac-12 is dead. This is a Pac-12 bowl tie-in. They have the rights to these old Pac-12 schools, which is why they're there, and it has the Big Ten tie-in, which is why Nebraska's there. If you give me the choice between Vegas and Detroit, now I've spent way too much time in Vegas in the last calendar year. I'm not exactly dying to go back. I will go if I am sent, but I have gotten very acquainted with my hotel rooms in Vegas, just for safety's sake. But no, I still rather go to Vegas than Detroit.
Right. Yeah.
And let's even view this through the Nebraska Matt Rule lens. Is it process or results? Nebraska would be more likely to beat a MAC team in, the whatever bowl that is up there in Detroit anymore, or, the Independence Bowl down in Shreveport against a Conference USA team or whatever. And sure, it's always great to end your season with a win. Yes, it's a results-oriented business, but I think these 15 practices, these next 19 days, the month between Black Friday against Iowa and this game against Utah is more about the process. What does Nebraska need? Nebraska doesn't need to feel good about itself beating up on a team from a lesser conference that Nebraska can just out-talent. What Nebraska needs is to continue to face better and better competition to drill into Nebraska's head how much better it needs to get. This is what a 10-2 team looks like. This is a really good team, a really solid, stable program that still has not made the college football playoff. It's a Utah team that's still searching, right? And Nebraska faces a stiff test against Utah, and that's not even the best of the best. That's a team that's still hungry and trying to knock on that door to get into the college football playoff. So, yeah, would it be great for Nebraska to go beat up on some, mediocre MAC program and get to 8-5? Hey, first 8-win season in however long. Sure. But is that more or less meaningful than another potential building block to the future of, hey, this is what it's going to take to get to this level, I'd rather Nebraska have that opportunity 10 times out of 10.
Yeah, I like the approach to that, and I do think again these bowl games have kind of swung important from the gap that Nebraska had of their bowl game in 2016 to this past year in 2024. But I do think the most important part of missing all those games is not the game; it's the practices. It is those practices for 7 straight years. You get 15 extra practices. That's a lot of extra practice. That's a lot of extra time that you can spend developing your program and getting those young guys going. So I think that's the most important part of this whole experience. But like we said, I mean, it's going to be somewhat results oriented how Nebraska looks at this, because if you can do well defending the run against Utah, obviously it can really propel and change the taste in the mouths of Nebraska fans kind of going into the offseason. If this goes how we expect it to, Utah, a 2-touchdown favorite already in this game. Yeah, I don't think it completely throws off what you want. I mean, as long as you don't lose 56-10 or something like that, and you avoid national embarrassment, then I don't think it changes a whole lot of what you're thinking moving forward.
I was going to say, when's the last time Nebraska got embarrassed like that? But oh wait, we kind of it's not a couple different times. Like I was going to give this program the benefit of that for being competitive, but maybe it will be, because this is one of those, Bach, where how in tune are you to the game plan? How motivated are you? Iowa knows Nebraska. Minnesota knows Nebraska. Penn State, okay, maybe that's less scouted, but at least you're a conference opponent. I'd like to see Nebraska compete, and I don't think that goes back to the losers mentality. You're looking more for the wins in the individual performances, right? And it's going to be hard, especially on the defensive side of the ball with the new scheme coming in. How much will you really be able to take away? But I would like to be encouraged by a good performance from Donovan Jones. I would like to see Riley Van Poppel and Keona Davis flash and make an impact. I would like to see Cam Lenhart look like he earns a starting role going into next year. Young linebackers. Nebraska needs to see something. That's going to be a big position of need. And even other young defensive backs. I mean, this is a great opportunity for that defensive backcourt to go out on a relative high note, but there's got to be a lot of young, interesting names behind them. We saw the flashes from Caleb Benning in the bowl game last year. Didn't lead to much this year, but can he find his way onto the field? Right? I mentioned Donovan Jones, other guys in that mix, right? Rex Guthrie. What do you look like in a matchup like this? It's more to me about the small wins for these players, not these grand sweeping observations.
Well, and it is, I mean, on the defensive side of the ball, I definitely can see, kind of steps being taken forward there. The offensive side of the ball is incredibly intriguing. Now, again, it won't be if you score 3 to 10 points, and there's not much to kind of take away from it. But, you're kind of trying out a new offensive line, new guys up there. How much kind of depth does Nebraska have there? And some of these young guys getting the spot or the opportunity. And then, of course, the big one is that running back. I mean, somebody's got are we just going to give everybody 5 carries and see kind of who goes off? Is somebody going to win this through practice? Obviously, it's going to change hands throughout the season. Is there a matchup they like better among those guys? But can somebody, I mean, obviously, if somebody can have a 100-yard game or, whatever it is, 80 yards, even that, can really make Nebraska fans, I think, feel a lot better about going into next season. But also, more importantly for that guy, is put them in pole position to either have that job or be the number one competitor for that job. Because I do think Nebraska, almost regardless, unless somebody rushes for 200 yards, is going to have to go to the portal to get some competition.
You're telling me you don't see Quentin Ives having the Divine Azigbo year? Is that what you're telling me, Bach?
We could see it. Listen, we've seen some meteoric rises before.
We have. We almost saw the Brody Belt meteoric rise in spring ball. That did not happen at that position either. No, I mean, I think it's a great opportunity for those running backs learning, hopefully not a new running scheme, but probably slightly different depending on what Coach Wade is able to do with the offensive line. I'm still not sure what Isaiah Mosey is or going to be. I hope he's not Ramir Johnson 2.0 in that he just bounces back and forth and never finds a home. I was impressed with the flashes I saw from the young fella. Just pick a position. Just pick a position. Don't make yourself worse at 2 positions just because you want to get someone on the field, right? If he can handle running back and he's a running back, then he's a running back. If he's a receiver and he can handle receiver, then he's a receiver, right? Don't have him going back and forth. Let him pick one, right? Malcolm Hartzog, I think his career has been so up and down because of that very reason, right? Makai Nelson, I think he's probably the truest running back there. That's the guy I would give the first shot to. I've seen more from Mosey. I like him more. If he's a running back, give him the first shot. If you're not sure what he is, then give Mekhi Nelson the first reps, right? Quentin Ives, where are you? Are you going to play a role here? Is this a Connor Shoot game? Like, Jaden Bradley leading Nebraska in rushing in a spring game, right? Is this his moment to shine? I don't know. Kenneth Williams is technically a running back, Does he get reps there instead of just a kick returner? That's a fascinating position.
Yeah, it will be. So there's not a lot to look forward to against the bowl game for Utah. Whether Nebraska wins or not, part of it, but a whole bunch of kind of story and intrigue going in there. So don't let them tell you bowl games don't matter, even though they matter less.
Right.
That's my statement. When people say bowl games don't matter, no,
they matter exactly
less.
The amount that they matter. No more and no less.
All right, let's go ahead and take a quick break. Like I said, we've got. I hit the button already. We've got a little bit of trivia, Las Vegas Bowl trivia.
Nice.
We'll see how well Austin does. And I know you've watched every Las Vegas Bowl since 1992. Is that
Start
correct?
to finish. You know, I've been going back and forth trying to prepare for this game. What can I expect
That's right.
from the Las Vegas Bowl, baby?
Absolutely. We'll do that coming up next year on 1-on-1 on 93.7 The Ticket.
Download our app by searching 93.7 The Ticket in your app store. You're listening to One-on-One with DP on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL or visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on. Visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell and Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. 1221 N Street, Lincoln.
This is your year to win way more than bragging rights. At Warhorse Casino, your love of the game could earn you serious cash. The Pro Football Frenzy is free to play with cash prizes all season long, like up to $1,000 weekly, with your chance at $1 million, all while earning tier points and comp points every time you place a sports bet. Only at Warhorse Casino. Wagers may only be placed on Nebraska-based teams when played outside the state of Nebraska. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
Winter is just around the corner. Is your vehicle ready? Don't get left out in the cold. At A1 Automotive, we prep your car for whatever winter throws your way here in Nebraska. For battery checks, brake inspections, tires, heaters, whatever your car needs to keep you and your family safe on the road, we've got you covered. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Rick Heyman here from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again the best of Lincoln. At the same time, we're celebrating our 120th year in business in the great state of Nebraska. You can count on Sartor Heyman for the very best quality, value, and customer service. When it comes to your jewelry needs, visit us at South Point, Grand Island, and the Outlet in downtown Lincoln. Visit us today at SartorHeyman.com, and thank you for your continued trust after all these years.
Happy holidays, Nebraska! The Christmas event of the year is coming to the Lead Center. A Christmas Story, the musical, with all your favorite funny gags. The Fragile leg lamp, the Red Ryder BB gun, the ridiculous pink bunny suit, and more. All the fun of the movie, now with singing and dancing as seen on Broadway, with music by Pasek and Paul, the writers of The Greatest Showman. We triple dog dare you to get your tickets today. Leadcenter.org.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at GainaTrucking.com. There's only one place this holiday season to shop for the sports fan in your life and get cash back for slightly used sports items you don't need anymore. Play It Again Sports. Check out their selection of new and used items, including home fitness equipment like treadmills, exercise bikes, and ellipticals, and get your lift on with free weights, benches, and racks to add to your home gym. And don't forget, if you have anything slightly used to trade in, they'll give you instant cash. Holiday shopping starts and ends at Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
This holiday season, bring home a tradition that tastes like celebration. Beatrice Bakery's world-famous fruitcake, baked in the heart of Nebraska with rich, golden batter, real cherries, pineapple, crunchy nuts, and a splash of old-fashioned goodness. It's moist, flavorful, and crafted the same way for generations. It's the fruitcake that turns skeptics into believers. Find Beatrice Bakery fruitcake online at grandmasbakeshop.com or at your favorite retailer, and make your holidays deliciously unforgettable with the help of Beatrice Bakery's world-famous fruitcake.
Hi, Charlie Stone here, and it's that time of the year again. Time for the annual Happy Honda Days at Honda of Lincoln. With me on the line, Andy Goodyear, to tell us all about it.
The exciting news is we have more selection and more savings. We have over 400 new 2025 and 2026 Hondas to choose from, with a great opportunity to get year-end savings on every remaining new 2025.
Do you have some Happy Honda Day specials?
Sure do, Charlie. For example, you can lease a new 2025 Accord Sport Hybrid for just $349 a month, and we have financing from just 0% APR. We've also included over 125 pre-owned of all makes and models. And as always, our certified pre-owns are in this sale as well.
Well, maybe it's time you experience the best. The Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
The top-ranked Nebraska volleyball team is trying to play its way to the Final Four in Kansas City. Make your plans now to cheer on the Huskers with a VIP travel experience from Sports Trip and the Nebraska Alumni Association. Travel round trip from Lincoln in a luxury motor coach with free parking, plus an overnight stay at the beautiful Hotel Indigo in Kansas City. See details and register at HuskerAlumniTrip.com. Hurry, spots are limited. Register now at HuskerAlumniTrip.com.
Comfort food, but make it vegan. At Rutabagas, they're serving all your crave-worthy classics. Mac and cheese, loaded nachos, Philly cheesesteaks, all 100% plant-powered and 100% delicious. Catch them at their cozy spot at 70th and Vine, or find their food truck rolling through the streets of Lincoln. So whether you're vegan, veg curious, or just hungry for comfort food with a twist, Rutabagas has a plate waiting for you. Find them on Instagram for their food truck location and specials. Rutabagas, where comfort meets compassion.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road, just south of 14th and Highway 2.
You're listening to One-on-One with DP, brought to you by Canopy Street Market on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Well, welcome back to One-on-One here on 93.7 The Ticket. We've got still 2 segments left on the show. We'll have some fun talking about the Las Vegas Bowl and the history there. But first, I'm going to put Austin on the spot here, as we do have the Heisman Trophy awarded this week. Fernando Mendoza, I should say tomorrow, Fernando Mendoza was named AP Player of the Year, though we know from our Ndamukong Suh days that does not necessarily mean you're going to win the Heisman. Mendoza received 32 of 51 first-place votes from a nationwide panel of media members who cover college football. Pavia was second and got 9 votes, so maybe a precursor to what we see to the Heisman, maybe not. Here on Saturday. They also announced 5 through 10 in the Heisman rankings, which is always kind of fun to look at the guys behind those that got invited to New York. 5 through 10 spots go Jacob Rodriguez of Texas Tech, Jeremiah Smith, of course, of Ohio State, Gunnar Stockton, of Georgia, Trinidad Chambliss, who might win like Story of the Year there for Ole Miss. Number 9 at the 9th spot, I should say Caleb Downs, in 10th, Haynes King. But as it comes down to it, of course, the finals, Jeremiah Love out there for Notre Dame, Julian Sain for Ohio State, and the 2 that people expected maybe to come down to, Diego Pavia of Vanderbilt, and as I said, Fernando Mendoza of Indiana. Are you different than the AP? Would you go with a different vote, or are you thinking Mendoza wins it?
I'm just glad Jeremiah Love isn't opting out of the ceremony, really. But
That's
no.
the most important thing, yeah.
Right. He'll see the gold and think it's for him. But no, I do think it's probably Mendoza. I do think the the drive against Penn State that they ended up winning it on is a big deal. But more than anything, the Ohio State game, even though they only scored 13 points, even though it was defense led, I do think that it is a deserved award statistically, but also just the narrative, right? Indiana, you're 1 seed in the college football playoff, Big Ten champions for the first time in forever. Had Vanderbilt snuck into the playoffs, had they beat one of Bama or Texas, and had that be the win that got them into the playoff, even without being the SEC champion, maybe. But even then, I think you're still kind of just chasing the fact that Indiana was a little bit better. Mendoza, I think, has the more well-rounded team. And last year was kind of Pavia mania, right? If Andy had this year last year, I could have seen an argument for Diego Pavia maybe getting like the Lamar Jackson Heisman, even though Louisville didn't really win anything of major consequence with him there, kind of flamed out at the end of years and didn't make the major bowl games. Could have made an argument. Hey, he was the story. It's Vanderbilt. He's putting up numbers. They were really good. I mean, they weren't obviously like Lamar Jackson, gaudy, insane numbers, but I think Mendoza has the right mix of statistics and team success and narrative behind him that if he doesn't win it, I would be surprised.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you there too. I thought probably was going to have more of a chance, but as I've seen these, some of these different lists kind of come out, though he's, you look at these All-American teams, he has picked over Mendoza in a few of them. So I still think it could be interesting. We'll have to see kind of how it plays out here. But let's get to our Las Vegas Bowl kind of history here. So important to note here, again, Nebraska and Utah will play on New Year's Eve in the Las Vegas Bowl. The bowl started in 1992. Used to be played at Sam Boyd Stadium. That was, of course, before it's been moved to Allegiant Stadium. And we'll start with this because Terrell hates it whenever Matt Rule brings up attendance. And Matt Rule did say they're going to try to break the attendance record here. So the attendance record is 44,615. That was when BYU defeated Oregon in 2006. The record for Allegiant Stadium is actually less, 32,515 in 2021 when Wisconsin beat Arizona State 20-13. Utah has been in this bowl a record 7 times.
Ooh.
So it might not be the most...
Including this one? Okay,
yep,
so 6 previous appearances?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, this is their 7th appearance in the bowl. They are not part of those previous records, right, as far as attendance goes. So kind of factor that in a little bit here. Also, short trip, but they've been here. So, you know, all that kind of considering. Do you think Nebraska can be what the Las Vegas Bowl hopes it is, the big traveling fan base that breaks the attendance record?
Can they? Yes. Will they? TBD. If this had been the bowl to snap the streak last year, yes, almost without a doubt. I think last year having to go to cold, snowy, sleety New York to play a football game in a baseball stadium, I think if the roles had been reversed and this was the game for Nebraska, yes, I mean, it's not a sellout. I mean, I would guess Nebraska would push it to probably 50K if this was last year. Now, I think it'll be close. I don't know Husker fans' opinions on Las Vegas. I know there have been some in and out partnerships with the Lincoln Airport to Vegas and back, and it's relatively easy to get to even out of Omaha. So, no, I think Nebraska fans will show out well. I don't think it'll be overwhelming by any means. I wouldn't put money on the attendance record being broken. Sorry, Nebraska fans, there's a challenge.
Yes. See, I'm very intrigued by that because I just want to know where Nebraska fans are at. Like you said, if it broke the bowl drought, I think that those would be heavily, more heavily a trip there. But just I think that, I mean, you're a 2-touchdown underdog. You're coming off back-to-back bad losses. The bowl game matters, but the the moves of this offseason, everything that, Emmett Johnson opting out.
Vegas isn't the draw that it maybe was even 5 years ago.
Right. All that stuff factoring in. I don't think they break it either. I was surprised that Matt Rule said that, but trying to challenge Nebraska fans. And he's, Nebraska, that's what Nebraska has to work with. And that's why, again, I point out to Terrell because I think it's funny. He gets so upset whenever that's mentioned. And I say, well, that's kind of what you have. I know it's not what you want, and you got to keep working toward what you want. But what you have is a traveling fan base that cares about their Huskers, cares about the logo, and will take these opportunities to go. For many families, this was a yearly vacation every year, all the time, no matter what it was going to be, but it was usually picking between the Orange Bowl and the Fiesta Bowl, and so that changed over the years. And then after this long drought, I think families probably started different traditions and different things. There are people that go, but I'm intrigued a lot in how much like the draw is of New Year's Eve in Vegas, because that's kind of an experience on its own.
Sure, absolutely. I would wager there will be more Nebraska fans from California and Arizona than Nebraska fans from Nebraska.
Wow.
Maybe that's a hot take. Maybe even the Texas fans make their way over there, but I'm not saying the Nebraska fans from Nebraska won't go. They'll have their contingent. But even with Nebraska being out on the West Coast now almost every year, I mean, they did the USC thing last year, UCLA this year, Washington, Oregon, then in the next couple of years as well. It's just different. I do think that you'll get more of that Calibraska representation, which bring back Calibraska, by the way. I'm kidding.
That was so successful. So that's interesting kind of in its own right there. All right, now here comes your trivia. I think you're going to do pretty well with this.
Oh, geez.
But
Thanks for the pressure.
We've got team MVPs. I only picked out names that kind of stuck out to me, and I think you'll be able to kind of figure out game MVPs over the last several years. We'll see if you can get it. Last year's MVP. Just tell me the college they played at. Jacoby Lane.
Oh, I'm 0 for 1, Bach.
Uh-oh.
Wait a minute. Jacoby Lane. I know I've heard the name.
You know the name. You're going to be very upset when you center in on it.
It wasn't Utah, was it?
No, that's the current USC wide receiver. That's pretty darn good.
Oh, that's right.
All-American.
That's right.
Nebraska shut him down, so I get why you don't remember that one. All right, let's see if you get this one. A little bit more difficult, maybe. Quarterback Ben Bryant.
Ben Bryant? He's a Cincinnati guy?
He was originally, that's right.
That was the bowl that Northwestern beat Utah in. So Northwestern, final answer.
There's going to be some of these that are very easy. Braylon Allen.
Never heard of that guy. Wisconsin.
Wisconsin, 2021 MVP. Part of this is to let people know that who's won MVP too. 2016's MVP, Donnell Pumphrey.
Oh, that's San Diego State.
That's correct. The all-time leading rusher in college football. Most people don't know that.
Wow, people forget.
Yeah.
Take that, Ron Dane.
That's right. 2013, Cody Kessler.
Cody Kessler. Would that have been USC, Cody Kessler?
That's the USC as well, yes.
But he wasn't at USC for this game, was he?
No, he was.
He was?
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
Okay.
USC's Cody Kessler.
Nice.
2012, Bishop Sankey.
Bishop Sankey, that was a Washington running back.
That's correct. Nice. I thought that one might be difficult. 2011. Wow. Okay, 2011. Don't know what that was. Doug Martin.
Muscle Hamster, Boise State.
There you go. 2010, Kellen Moore.
Boise State.
Also Boise State. We're jumping a few years back. 2005, Marshawn Lynch actually was the MVP in this.
Cal,
there you go.
Did he write the medical card in that one?
I wish. I don't think so. 2003, Steven Jackson.
Oh, Steven Jackson. Yeah. Know him from his time with the Rams.
Yep.
Where did Steven Jackson go to college? Steven Jackson was he also a Cal? No, I think Deshaun Jackson for Cal. Steven Jackson.
Pac-12, you're out there.
Okay. Steven Jackson, Arizona.
Oregon State.
Okay.
This one might be very difficult for you, but I picked it because it'll bother you a little bit. 1998, Ronald Curry. One of my favorite players.
Oh gosh. Was he a Tar Heel?
He was a Tar Heel. 1998, North Carolina. Ronald Curry, who was also a point guard on the basketball team for a while. North Carolina was doing that, which is a weird school to do that at. But quarterback and point guard. I think he might have been on the same team, and I can't remember if I'm crossing years here, that Julius Peppers also did that. So was kind of interesting around that era. A couple more facts here just before we get out of the segment. Utah, again, holds the record with this being their 7th appearance. They're tied with Boise State with 4 Las Vegas Bowl wins. So they're looking to break the tie this year and to get to their 5th. It is now the SRS Distribution Las Vegas Bowl. Previous sponsors included EA Sports in 1999 and Sega from 2001 to 2002. Of course, Utah comes into this game ranked. Ranked teams are 10-4 in bowl history versus unranked opponents. Utah themselves is 2-1 in bowl games when ranked, and their only loss was a 26-3 defeat to number 10 Boise State when they were ranked 20th. So that was a ranked on ranked matchup. Big Ten so
Mountain
far.
West on Mountain West crime.
That's right. The Big Ten so far, 3-0 in the bowl game. So no pressure there on Nebraska this year. If we're looking at some individual records, Muscle Hamsters all over this thing. Longest touchdown run, 84 yards. Doug Martin. Longest kickoff return, 100 yards. Doug Martin. All-purpose yards, 301 yards. Doug Martin. He just owns the Las Vegas Bowl. The record for tackles in this game, 20 by Troy Polamalu. 20 of them. Kai Forbath has hit the longest field goal with 52 yards.
Okay. Where did he go college?
UCLA.
Oh, that's right. Yep.
Cody Kessler holds the record with 4 passing touchdowns. Passing yards, the record is held by Brock Osweiler. 395 yards. Yes.
All right.
As far as rushing yards, Mike Anderson, you might remember him.
Former Nebraska baseball head coach Mike Anderson?
No, former Denver Broncos running back Mike Anderson played some ball at Utah, 254 rushing yards, and Steven Jackson holds the record with 5 touchdowns.
Did you know he went to Oregon State?
I did. I heard that before somewhere. All right, there you go. Now everybody knows a little bit more about the Las Vegas Bowl. Try to keep that memory for the next couple weeks, or in your memory bank for the next couple weeks. To impress your friends. All right, we'll go ahead and take a quick break. We'll be back and we'll wrap up one-on-one. Get you ready for Adam Carricker here on 93.7 The Ticket.
Watch live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. You're listening to One-on-One with DP on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hungry for something real? Come to HF Crave, Lincoln's favorite spot for burgers that are anything but basic. Locally sourced Nebraska beef, hand-cut fries, and bold flavors that'll make your taste buds cheer. Whether you're craving the classics or ready to try something wild, they've got the burger that gets you. HF Crave. Fresh, local, craveable. Find them at 48th and Holdridge or order online at hfcrave.com.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at gainatrucking.com.
Welcoming home our local active military members for the holidays, serving our listeners for 43 years, it's Wolf Ace Hardware, your local hardware man. Take this time to salute our military troops and veterans who are there for us year-round. Let's all take a moment to give them the respect they deserve. Wolf Ace Hardware, located at 6118 Havelock Avenue in Lincoln, a quality company that cares. Contractors and homeowners get to Wolf Ace Hardware for all your paint, brushes, and anything else you need for your upcoming projects. For more information, call 402-466-7707. Pick up everything you need at Wolf Ace Hardware, where you're always appreciated as a friend and customer. Wishing all a very healthy and prosperous holiday season.
If one of the things running through your mind as a business owner is the recurring worry of possible cyber attacks, you can let out a sigh of relief. Hamilton Business Technologies has you covered. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we offer real-time threat monitoring, advanced security protocols, and more to keep your data safe from harm. We care about the success of Nebraska businesses and communities like yours. Learn how we can help you at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
The top-ranked Nebraska volleyball team is trying to play its way to the Final Four in Kansas City. Make your plans now to cheer on the Huskers with a VIP travel experience from Sports Trip and the Nebraska Alumni Association. Travel round trip from Lincoln in a luxury motor coach with free parking, plus an overnight stay at the beautiful Hotel Indigo in Kansas City. See details and register at HuskerAlumniTrip.com. Hurry, spots are limited. Register now at HuskerAlumniTrip.com.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program by building a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today. When it comes to concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction doesn't stall. They go for the takedown. As Nebraska's full-service concrete contractor, they stay in bounds, hold inside position, and never forfeit quality. Whether it's foundations, flatwork, or concrete coatings, they elevate performance and pin down results that win every time. Stevens & Smith Construction is a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket. Because when it's time to wrestle with concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction slams expectations.
Concrete Industries has immediate job openings for precast production laborers and maintenance technicians. Concrete Industries offers great pay, health benefits, 401k, a wellness program, holidays, and paid time off. Apply today to earn a starting pay of $21.50 per hour plus a $1,500 hiring bonus. Concrete Industries is hiring all experience levels and offers on-the-job training. Start your career today as a precast production laborer or maintenance technician. Visit concreteindustries.com.
Are you tired of living in pain? At Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, they make it simple. From head to toe, spine to extremities, they've got you covered. Their multi-specialty team of experts in orthopedic surgery, plastic surgery, podiatry, physical therapy, and occupational therapy all work under one roof to get you back to living life pain-free. Don't wait another day. Visit prairie-ortho.com today or call them at 402-489-4700. Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, where healing begins.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
You're listening to One on One with DP, brought to you by Canopy Street Market on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back here on One on 93.7 The Ticket, getting you ready for Adam Carricker here later on in just about 10 minutes or so. But I did have a few things to say before we get out of here. Of course, it is a big day in Huskerland. Nebraska volleyball this weekend to punch their ticket to the Final Four. First, they'll have to take care of Kansas. And because it's volleyball, we don't know what time that's going to be. But Texas A&M and Louisville will be playing at 6 o'clock this evening at the Bob Devaney Sports Center from John Cook Arena. So 30 minutes after that game, we will have Nebraska and Kansas. And then after that, Manny tuned in for many months and on the postgame show here on 93.7 The Ticket. Kansas is it has the Iowa stat going on here. They're 0-88 against Nebraska all time. So that's going to be kind of difficult to see if they can kind of get that done, which is good for our hometown Huskers. Both broadcast, by the way, on ESPN2. And, of course, the winners will face each other on Sunday for the right to go to the Final Four. Also wanted to throw out there, I know this kind of came out yesterday, but I didn't get a chance to talk about it too much, is that the Husker Athletic Fund released renderings and additional details ahead of expanding John Cook Arena in the Bob Devaney Sports Center. The new plan has upgrades to most of the volleyball arena. They're kind of taking a lot out. Every seat will be replaced. Courtside seats will be added along with VIP and club space, which will be exciting. The new capacity will be $10,000, which is good, or 10,000 people, excuse me, which is good. I'm thinking dollars because it's hard to get in, hard to get a ticket. So maybe the tickets will go down a little bit. Who knows? But so looks pretty exciting. Every seat, by the way, will have drink holders. The most important thing.
There we go. Seat backs. Are there seat backs?
Are there seat backs? I don't know. I didn't see if there's any seat backs.
Man.
I think there are currently, aren't there? In most
is it for every?
Not for every seat, I don't believe.
I don't know.
Yeah. There should be.
But how cool for that program? I mean, 10K, and they're still going to sell out. Like, it's not even going to be a question.
Yeah.
The waiting list for tickets is just absurdly long. I mean, that 85-ish hundred that's at right now has been impressive, but they're not really like expanding, right? It's still going to feel intimate, still going to feel on top of you. The PBA environment, I've been told, was great for that first serve showcase. And I think PBA is set up pretty well to, funnel the noise down and make it loud. But there's nothing like that, like homey, smaller, tough to get into venue in college sports, right? It's why I think, like Cameron Indoor is so great. One of the best sporting environments I've ever been in was when Nebraska went down to Kansas. I mean, Allen Fieldhouse doesn't look like anything from the outside, but you get inside, you just feel it immediately. I think, that's got to be the Bob Devaney Sports Center for Nebraska volleyball. That's the type of like rarefied air we're talking about when it comes to that arena right now.
Did you, as a Nebraska basketball fan, because that's how I kind of explained. I mean, when DP kind of came in and asked him about it, like when Nebraska played over there, it's the college arena. It's that college feel as opposed to PBA, which is more of kind of a professional feel. Did you prefer the Devaney or PBA as far as Nebraska hoops goes?
It's just so different because I am blessed to watch a lot of games in PBA. I will give Nebraska fans credit. That environment against Wisconsin was off the chart. Probably the best one I've been in from start to finish. It's just so different because you don't get your first time entering like hallowed ground like that more than once, right? PBA is a great environment. PBA is not hallowed college basketball ground, right? I've never been to Cameron, never been to the Dean Dome, hope I never am. But even stuff like, the Kennel up for Gonzaga, the Pit for New Mexico, getting a chance to go across the country to some of those, even Rupp Arena, right? That's pretty big, but has a pretty darn good reputation as well. If I get the chance to go out to Poly Pavilion, just to say, I set foot on the same court that John Wooden did.
Yeah.
But even like Bramlage Coliseum for Kansas State, the Octagon of Doom.
Yes.
That was an incredible environment as well. So there are ways to make every environment special. I think Nebraska's doing better. Obviously, team success helps. But, man, there was just something about being there at Fog Allen. Nebraska lost the game. It was never close. That's with the Kansas fan buddy. But you have to recognize what you're walking into. It's legit.
Yeah. I mean, and like you said, more than anything, I think history in the building, history of the team is going to do more than anything. But I do sometimes miss the college feel of Bob Devaney, but absolutely love Pinnacle Bank Arena. So it's hard to go wrong there. All right, let's go ahead and wrap up the show here. Adam Carriker in the building, ready to go. Coming next year on 93.7 The Ticket.
If one of the things running through your mind as a business owner is the recurring